A guy's Dave Pinson, Philippine Bible Ministry. I have no right to say that I believe in God if I don't order my life in a way that He will be accepting of it. What does that mean? That's some pretty powerful stuff, Oswald Chambers. There he goes again. Wisdom. Um, you can't really talk about. So the thing is, like, you can't really go tell people about living for Christ if you're not doing it. You can't. You can't. I mean, that's why a lot of preachers and teachers are more intellectual than they are about the strong stuff. Why? Because they're not living the strong stuff. It's easy to say, well, what does this mean? Let's look into the meaning of this and let's dig into it and let's well, find out what does the catechism mean? What does this mean? What is and all this intellectual scholarship stuff. And a lot of preachers are really good at explaining stuff. And teachers, people like teachers. They don't like preachers. Why? Why? Because preachers upset you. Preachers tell you that you're screwed up and they mess with you. Stuff you don't want to hear. But teachers now, teachers, I would say that a good teacher is a preacher. But teachers who just talk about mental stuff, there's nothing to live up to, right? That's why people like, I've been really into this lordship theology lately and why the dispensationalists, by the way, if you don't know what that is, we'll talk. Please send me a message. I'll be happy to have a conversation about it. Most of you are probably dispensationalists and you don't even know it. I didn't even know what it was until I started learning about that. I was one for so many years. But most of them don't like lordship theology because it demands that he's your Lord. And if he's your Lord, that demands that you have a life. And if you have a life, that demands that you live it out. And you can't live it out if you have this sort of a half-baked Christianity. What's it called? Easy believism, some people call it. In other words, I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is to say I believe in Jesus. And like I said before, even the demons believe and tremble, right? So the whole idea being you can't really teach people something if you're not living it out. And this is good for me as a Bible teacher and a preacher. Now, I call myself a preacher more than a teacher, though, because if I'm going to tell somebody about overcoming sin and I have not experienced that, then I'm going to have a hard time. I'm going to have to back up. I'm going to have to put that on. I'm going to have to be very careful how I say that, because I certainly can't. I can tell you the stuff that I have overcome, and we could talk about that, right? This whole idea about doing a Sinners Anonymous or 12-step program to help people on drugs and alcohol, gambling, people with sex addictions, people with, there's a lot of issues here, people in cults, people that are really wrapped up in sin as they're addicted to it, yes, but addiction to sin is just sin in the Bible. Um, but we like to call it 12 steps, which is fine. The 12 steps are all about God anyway. But the idea being that you can't just say, well, we just try to progress, and it's okay if we have all these things, because then you start poo-pooing it. You don't believe that there's evil in the world. You don't believe in this and the other anymore, and you're weak. Why? You're weak because you don't believe that you don't have to be. So it's really good to be a teacher. It's really good to be a preacher. It's really good to speak stuff, because here's what happens every time you start learning, and like I start learning about certain things, and all of a sudden the Lord starts opening your heart and showing you that you need this because you are messed up, because this is who you are. He makes you very uncomfortable. He doesn't really care about your comfort and your peace. He wants you to be his, right? So if you're going to live, if you're going to talk about something and try to teach people something, you best be living it out, or else God will slap you in the face. you know why do you think so many preachers and teachers go down? A lot of them have extramarital affairs or this or that and the other. Why do you think that happens so much? Because they're saying the words, but it's not really happening, and God doesn't play, right? Because God is not mocked, right? Because you reap what you sow. So yeah, that's why every day I'm in my prayer closet. Every day I'm like asking God to make me His, Lord. Your will be done. Make me yours. Whatever it takes, Lord. Whatever it takes. Whatever you want, Lord. Whatever it takes, Lord. Help me to live out the life that I'm talking about. Help me to live out the life that I'm talking about, because I don't want to be like. That's why the Christian. That's why so many kids, when they grow up and they go out in the world, that's why they walk away from the Lord, if they were ever part of the Lord, because they don't see their parents living it out. They just see a lot of lip service. Oh, we care about people. We do this and the other. Then why do you make all these trips? Why are we spending? Why are we living our life just like the world? Why are we living such a worldly life? Why are we? Nothing wrong with having a time out and a break and enjoying yourself, but there should be a limit to that. Why? Because the world's going to hell. That's why, my friend. So maybe God will change your heart by watching this video. Maybe not. But he sure changes my heart when I read when Oswald Chambers says you have to live it out or you can't be talking about it. So help me to live it out. How about you guys? God bless you guys. Ta ta for now.